I'm Jennifer Fox with Music Educator Resources, and today is Music Teacher Tip number 40. I love Halloween, and I love how creative we can get with it. I love the games, the activities, I love dressing up, and I really love our Halloween Masquerade performance event. In all my performance events that I do throughout the year, I like to do something a little bit different in between performers. It helps keep the audience engaged, and we don't want a dead audience, right? So today I wanted to share 5 ways that we can liven up your Halloween performance events. I like to rotate these ideas that I'll be sharing. It keeps things fresh with the audience so they're not expecting the same thing every year. So make sure you also watch to the end, as I do have some spectacular freebies that you can enjoy. So one of the first things that I've done with Halloween performances is to do a Halloween trivia. I love trivia. It's just fun. Even if you don't know the answer, it's fun to learn from trivia. And so I came up with these trivia questions. And what I'll do during a performance event is after about 2 or 3 students perform, depending how many I have performing in the event, will depend on when I do these. So it's typically 2 to 3 students. I will do a trivia question. So for example, this question says, how many parents admit to sneaking goodies from their kids' Halloween trick-or-treat bags? And then I'll have the audience kind of answer. I may have multiple choice. The cards come with a multiple choice. So A, 75%, B, 90%, or C, 100%. So you can also do, since it's multiple choice, you can ask, how many of you think it's A, 75%, or how many do you think is B, and so on. I'll give you another example of a question. Jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, where people placed candles in hollowed out blank to keep away spirits and ghosts on the holiday. A, pumpkins, B, turnips, and C, cantaloupe. And then I'll wait to see if anybody has an answer. Whoever gets the first answer, I usually have like a little treat. I have a pumpkin full of candy and little trinkets if they don't eat candy. And so whoever gets it first, they'll get, the audience will, whoever from the audience gets it first, they'll be able to pick a treat out of the pumpkin. So it's really fun. Halloween trivia is a big hit. Doing that during Halloween performances. I usually don't do it with after every single student, because that can really drag out a performance event as far as time goes. So I like to keep things moving, and it's usually 2 to 3 students is really good. But again, if you don't have a lot of students, maybe you only have 10 students performing, that's a great way to add time that maybe, you don't have a lot of, you need to fill some time, so it's a great time filler. So maybe you would want to do it after every student. All right, the next one I have loved over the years is the Halloween pass-along game. So this is a story-based game where it tells them, I always have like a giveaway that I'm doing. It's usually a bag full of treats, Halloween-themed treats and stuff, and just miscellaneous things that you could find, at the dollar store or wherever. And they pass along, I usually don't pass along the treat, I actually pass along a spider. And darn, I don't have it with me. I should grab it. All right, I grabbed it. This is our little spider. So I usually pass around the spider for the purpose of the pass along game. And then at the end, whoever is left with the spider gets the goodie bag of treats. And again, this could be any audience member. It does not have to be a student that wins it. It could be anybody. Parents, siblings, whatever. So let me give you an example of what a Halloween pass-along game is. So I'm just going to read. This one is I divided this story into 13 parts, and in between the parts, students are performing. So it says, this game is really easy and we hope that you have fun. No one can tell who the winner will be until the game is done. Each page of rhymes will tell you exactly what to do. They will lead you to the winner. Perhaps it will be you. And then I might have a student perform at this point. It just depends on how many students I have. but I might not. So if a student performs, then after they perform, then I continue. Roses are red, violets are blue. Now please pass this treat to the person who is just left of you. So in this case, because we're passing the spider, I would say please pass the spider to the person to the left of you. And then that person will hold the spider, and then the next student would play. And then the next part would be children everywhere are counting down to Halloween Day. We're all excited. It's not really that far away. Now pass this treat on to the person with the most recent birthday. And then we would find out who just had a birthday. And again, it could be anybody in the audience, and find that out, and then they get the spider. And the nice thing about something like that is it doesn't matter where somebody is sitting. It has to do with their birthday. Some other things are the color eyes or the length of the hair, the smallest purse. Let's see what else. Scariest costume today. So then we could all vote on who has the scariest costume. Really anything goes as far as a pass along game. So it's a lot of fun. They love it, and they're very engaged during the time. So in between the little story as it goes, the poem, students are performing, and then we just go back and forth and the game continues. So I love that one. It's a lot of fun. And you can write your own. I don't know where I found this original story. I have had this so long that I don't remember where I found it. Otherwise, I would share it with you. But if you look, maybe just Google pass along game, and at least get some ideas, and maybe you can write your own. I might end up writing my own later on. We'll see. All right, the next idea is music jokes. I did this a couple years ago, and it was a lot of fun. So we have lots and lots of music jokes to choose from, and I'm going to be doing this one this year again. I'm going to be Lucy Ricardo, and of course she's a funny person, right? Funny gal. And so I thought, okay, this is just going to be perfect, right? We have to do music jokes. So let me give you some jokes here. What scary retro monster really loves disco music? Any guesses? The Boogeyman. All right. How about what do you call a musician who betrays fellow musicians? An orchestrator. Traitor, orchestrator. I get easily amused. I don't know about you. Let's see what else. I'll give you one more. Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he had no body to go with. So when I do the musical jokes, I, again, will do a joke every 2 to 3 students typically. Not every student, but it's totally up to you and your circumstance on how you want to do that. All right, number 4. This would be the left-right story. And I've also added up and down because I want things moving along. So again, I use my trusty little spider here where this is kind of like another pass-along type thing where they're passing it along. And at the end, who's left with it will get a treat. So to give you an idea, this would be the Halloween right family. And when I found this online, they just had right and left, but I didn't want the spider simply to go right and left. So I adapted the story to include up and down. And again, you can Google Wright, WRIGEHT family stories, and usually you will find these kind of stories out there. So this is Halloween Wright family. So Halloween was almost there, and Mother Wright was just about finished decorating. So at that point, when they hear the word right, the spider needs to go to the person on the right. Father Wright and Bill Wright returned from their last-minute pumpkin picking. There is not much left to be done, said Father Wright as they came into the kitchen. So then I'd pause the story and a student would play. 2 to 3 students typically. So then we'd go back to the story. Did you hang up the skeletons in the trees where I told you to? So then it would go forward. So in this case, I might actually start the spider in the middle of the room, so then it could go up. No, I didn't hang up the skeletons. I left them right where you told me to, said Father, right? So you get the idea now. And they really have to listen to the story, and everybody is always, they're anxious to see if it's going to come close to them. So I've done, like, there's one part where it says the phone rang and Susie Wright ran up the stairs. And then I'll go right down to get it, things like that. So that is a really fun game that you can do as well. All right, the last idea is a sound story. I love doing sound stories with students, so why not put this in a performance event, right? So I love this book, Sound Stories. This is the teacher edition, and it's from Hal Leonard. Christy Carey Miller has done this one, and I've used this for all sorts of things. There's a Christmas one in here that's really fun. I've used that with students. And there is one called A Night to Remember that is perfect for Halloween. Now, because the setting is in a mansion, and they're exploring the Van Hooser mansion. It was Halloween night, and they were going to try their luck at exploring the old Van Hooser mansion. And it goes on. So I'll just say some little bit of part of the story. But what you do is you're handing out sound story parts. So for example, Tommy would be on a hand drum in a particular rhythm. And so you can, they would know to tap that rhythm. And you might have sections of the room divided up in what they're going to do. You might want to take some things out. No, don't make it too complicated. Just give them ideas. When you're doing it with just students, then you can get a little bit more, okay, this is the rhythm you're doing. But when it's the whole audience, you might want to just do simple sounds, like a drumming sound or a whistle or a squeak, where they're going to squeak, that kind of thing. Let's see. Banging, moans and groans, like ooh, ooh, or ooh, ah. Things like that. Or surprise is a gasp. So what they're doing is they're listening for their word. So again, if you divide up the audience, I would have Halloween as one of the words, and you can have it as a particular sound. In this particular one, mansion might be a word. Crack, perfect. Rainstorm, they can do things like that. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to, let's see. I'll do this paragraph. The Van Hooser mansion, so they might go or something, I don't know, was much bigger than Tommy remembered. Overgrown shrubs and weeds covered the windows and doorways. A broken window banged against the side of the house, so they would bang. As the weather vane squeaked overhead, so then a group would squeak or something. So anyway, sound stories are a lot of fun for performance events, and of course, at group lessons and anything like that you might do with your students. So there are your 5 ideas. Let me just review. We have Halloween trivia. So that is one of your freebies that you can download if you don't have it already. There's a printable version and a digital version. So feel free to enjoy that with your students and your performance events. Then number 2 was the pass-along story. Again, kind of Google pass-along stories and see what you could come up with and adapt them. Music jokes was number 3, and I have a printable 2 pages worth, over 25 music jokes that you can download and use. If you want something that's more in a card format, I like them in cards because they're easy to just grab the card and go up to the stage or whatever I'm doing and read the jokes. So it's just handy. But there is a free printable that you can print out too. And speaking of music jokes, this pairs well with, I did a Halloween I Have, You Have music jokes game that uses those same music jokes. And I'm planning on this year doing this game with my students at our Halloween group lesson. So those who participated in Halloween Masquerade will have done some of the Halloween music jokes at the Halloween Masquerade recital. And so when they do the I Have, You Have, they might sound familiar to them, which is actually a good thing. So that will be fun. I'm excited about that. And then number 4 was the left-right story. And again, I added up and down. So if you find a left-right story, you can add up and down to keep it moving around. And then number 5 was a sound story. So I hope those gave you some fun ideas to liven up your Halloween performances. You can find, by the way, the freebies you can find in my store, musiceducatorresources.com/shop, and just type in Halloween music jokes or Halloween trivia. If you also go to my blog and type in Halloween music jokes, there's a blog post that has the free printable. So that's actually where you get the printable. The free printable is that blog post. And if you are interested in the cards, the game, and as a bonus, I just included these two along with the game. So those are in my shop on Music Educator Resources. And let's see. Also, if you're going to be doing a Halloween group lesson or a group party or anything like that, which is my favorite, I have a lot of fun Halloween games that I've done with students, and I'm really excited to do them this year. I always look forward to them, and my students always ask, are we doing this one? Don't Eat Frank is one that they always ask about if we're doing that. And we'll be doing, of course, this one too. So feel free to look and see under Halloween in the shop. But I also have a Halloween resource roundup on the blog, so that will kind of give you a roundup of the games that you can find. There's lots of goodies. I would also look, if you're doing a Halloween group lesson, I would look into the Halloween Write the Room activity. That one's a lot of fun too. So whether you are having students perform for peers during a Halloween party or for a full audience, these ideas are sure to be fabulous. A fabulous hit with everyone, right? Until next time, happy teaching.